Shalom, this is Mary Omni from the World Government House of King David, Holy Covenant Constitutional Enforcer. The title of this Republic Notice is called The Phalluscies of the Fallen Black Man. I give praise to the living God that all knowledge is from the true, living, one God of creation, and that I am only a vessel, receiver of knowledge, and I am giving what I received. Let me first state that the fallacy of the fallen black man is not talking about all black men in general. First of all, we have men in covenant status that is with their women and children. They do a lot of things you don't see. They unsung heroes within their communities. They work with gangs. They work with prisoners. They work with black women who don't have any support. They act as substitute mentors and fathers to a black boy. They live up their creed of James 1:27 of the pure religion is to cater to the widows and orphans and stay out of the world. That is the black man's true duty, to serve the widows and orphans and to stay out of the world. That is pure religion, James 1:27. And I'm going to state we have a lot of true brothers on their way to the kingdom doing just that, okay? Now, when we talk about the fallacies of the fallen black man, we're talking about those black men who act like their only purpose in coming from this earth was to serve their ego and their self. I mean, and I always start with, you know, when I'm trying to explain stuff, is that first of all, the black man is missing quite a few dimensions. See, he don't understand he's missing quite a few dimensions. Then his brain, as Ivan Van Sertima said, has had a nuclear bomb go off in it. Now, he doesn't have something the female have, and that's the double X. Now, the female double X gives her more preservation intelligence, okay? And the truth of this is proven by she hasn't had the high rate of abandonment of her children, and neither do she murder as much black women as the black man murders the black man. I mean, black women fight, they argue, and you can say they all jealous of each other and they all pissy with each other and this and that and that and other. But see, the black man in his fallacies of the fallen black man has the highest genocide and murder rate of each other than probably anybody on the planet, okay? Probably than anybody on the planet. Yet he always yet he's like a puppet foul in Babylon talking about,
oh, you sound like an angry black woman, but don't sound like an angry black woman.
And he's telling us, because he's fouling just like a puppet, a media drone puppet, telling black women,
you sound angry, and don't be angry, and, you know, you got a nasty attitude, and this and all that, and...
So the black woman's supposed to have all that. But look at the murder rate of the black man on black man. I guess his is not an angry attitude, huh? He murdered each other off like it's a hobby. He murdered each other off like it's so natural. But the black woman is the one supposed to be with the attitude. How many black women killed each other compared to black men killing each other? I mean, we supposed to have the attitude? We supposed to be the nasty one? We supposed to be the nasty ones with the attitude, but you take each other out with hatred and attitude in the blink of an eye. You had an attitude that your sons ain't worth nothing, but we supposed to be the one with the nasty attitudes, right? Fallacy of the fallen man. Fallacies of the fallen black man. Black women have the attitude, but yet you and black men killing each other and you say nothing about it. If Ivan Sertima The nuclear bomb that went off to your brain. Your circuitry is scrambled, brother. You in a fallacy of a fallen black man. Now, another thing, he has woken up a little bit, so he's looking all over and he's looking into all these artifacts of the ancients and saying, well, we did this, we did that, we was black in Germany, Europe was black, and this place was black, and everything was black, and everything was black, and everything was black. And the devil is white. Everything was black, but the devil is white. Everything was black, but the devil is white. That means you took your phallus and created phallussites all over the planet and then said the devil is white, even though you created him as your phallusite. Woo! Phalluscies of the fallen black man. He created his phallusite, white devil, then called him the white devil and said the devil is white. And look at him, he's still today. Here it is, 2013. Look how many phallussites he's going around creating. And they all vote against him, and they all part of the system to make sure he's jailed by the millions and millions and millions, and they all part of the system to make sure he can't get housing, cars, nothing. They all part of the system to make sure that he got to go to a white woman to beg her for crumbs. They all part of the same system that go into that voting booth to vote to make sure he never hold a seat in Congress or a governorship. Phalluscies of the fallen black man. Now, James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, said he didn't get a pair of underwears from the store until he was 9 years old. And that's because the fallacies of the fallen black man created all his enslavers to make sure they would then give him a colonization, and then give him a piss flood, and a colonization. That means they did a colon cleanse on him, and then they flooded him with piss, patriarchal indoctrination, subjugation syndrome, so that they all stood on little poor James Brown constitutionality and deprived him of what was his as underwear when he is married to the land and he was born a rich child, and they attrition him so much because these phallussites, the white man that some group brag about creating, is the white devil, brag about creating him. Yet they enslaved him, whatever they created, and it sure outwitted his ass. And so it piled on little poor James Brown birthrights and constitutionality, which is the Holy Covenant. They put a pile of dung that's called the abominations of desolation. They pile and pile and pile and pile. Really, the dung goes to the mule, but see, they don't know it. But they got a big mountain of dung blocking the wealth of a James Brown, born in 1930, was born wealthy. Okay, so that means your grandparents was born wealthy, but the black man, fallen black man, and the phallussites he created made sure that they warred against you. If he created them, and sometimes he bragged that all of them came from him, but he wanted to say, oh, the white devil don't have the originality back to him. That's a phallussite fantasy. Any phallusite he created, because he's still doing the same thing today. I mean, he's throwing his seed around to any kind of beast, any kind of mixtures, even while we know that the earth now is being invaded by extraterrestrials. He's just throwing his seed all over the place, creating all kinds of havoc. I mean, he's starting to talk about, and he's bragging on the internet about how this Asian woman like him, how he's going with any kind of mutation. He's into any kind of mutation. See, because he had mutants, he created mutants, and the mutants turned around and propagated themselves enough to enslave him, and then he's been a fallen ever since. So he is the fallacy that's not the blame. He's not to blame. In his fallacy mind, he's not to blame. Just like in his fallacy mind, he can say,
oh, black women got an attitude. Oh, black women is this and they ain't this and they ain't that. They got an attitude and their attitude is nasty.
But who has the higher murder rate? I mean, how nasty can you get than to take life like it ain't nothing? To take each other's life, to see a reflection of a man look like you and want to take him out of this world and don't blink an eye about it. Is that not the devil? Where's this fallacy coming from that the black man can't be Satan or the devil when he do exact the work of Satan and the devil? Okay? I see people belonging to the Nation of Islam that wrote me back and they was bragging about the Honorable Malcolm X should have been killed. Now you gonna tell me that's not the work of the devil? Oh, come on. Fallacy of the fallen black man, okay? They got people under Nation of Islam bragging today about Malcolm should have been killed because he so-called betrayed somebody, okay? Oh, wow. So this is, I mean, and so the thing of it is, the fallacy don't understand James Brown saying, it's a man's world. All they hear is it's a man's world. All they hear is it's a man's world. Like they hear just floating in this world just based on being a man alone. But see, they don't hear the part where James Brown said it wouldn't be nothing without a woman. They don't hear the part about James Brown saying he's lost. He's lost in the wilderness. He is lost. And so you got these guys now that think in their fallacy that they are not lost when they 70% separated from their own rib. They don't even have enough sense to get their bone structure intact. Their bone structure is out of whack. They separated from their own rib. And he somehow thinks that in his fallacy that on earth he can exist and he can be a supreme being without a rib. Laugh my ass off. Laugh my ass off. The fallacies of the fallen. Oh, and this other one, the fallacy that he can replace the rib that produced him. He think he can replace the rib that produced the Christ. Laugh my ass off. Then you got intelligent brothers like I like SETI. Saren Suit and SETI, and he intelligent, and he'll say the black woman is God, right? But then he'll turn around and say there's no such thing as Christ. Well, if the black woman is God, and God had a son named Christ, why can't you be the Christ, SETI, of the black woman that's God? Why can't you be the Christ or the body of Christ of the black woman that's God? See, this is the fallacy of man. And this is why you cannot follow man blindly. Is one talking about here atheists, and he's leading marches in Atlantic, the black atheists. Now, I don't know what his other angles is, but just using the term black atheist, if he got women following this fallacy, fallen man BS, then it's no wonder that we got wrapped up right in captivity with these foolish ass fallen men. You better watch following them because the earth is now getting ready to throw them out of her womb. I mean, they just ain't cutting it. They just ain't cutting the grade. The experiment with them, whatever, they falling and they don't look like they getting up, okay?
This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. Shalom.